All right, excuse me, I'm on hole number 2 of the Monster Marsh tournament. I'm in Monday's qualifying round of the rookie division. Let's go to Golf Clash Notebook and check it out. Okay, hole number 2 is going to be hole number 7 at Sunshine Glades. Now this is the duck hole. See the duck? See the little ducky right here? The duck hole. All right, so if you're trying to get on, there's, you can either try and run on this little fairway here. The bigger the ball you bring, the more you're going to be able to work your way up, and this fatter part of the fairway right here gives you a little bit more leeway. So if you're bringing a Titan, you can max overpower and try and get into this range with your extra mile. If you're using lower level balls, you've got a smaller fairway area down here. This isn't going to give you a whole lot more room, but it might give you enough that if you did hit a one ring great to the left or the right, you might be able to still catch it, at least on one side or the other, depending on how you set your ball up. If you bring a 5-power ball, you're still, even with a maxed out extra mile, you're still a little short and may have to put on just a little bit of power to get into the wider spot and then try and feed it to the hole. With my lower level stuff, I'm probably going to have to hit over here. I'm going to bring a Titan just to see what it looks like in this spot. But I think the layup, when you've got lower developed stuff, the deal is that your secondary clubs, you're going to be so close here. If you epic fail here, you're going to be so close up here that you're going to be able to get on with your secondary clubs, your sand wedge, your rough iron. But there is a risk that you could get in the water if you end up going way to the left. So I'm going to kind of look at it when I get out there and see, like, does a Titan help me out over here, or do I just need to do the layup shot? But I'll take a look at it when I get out there on the course. With lower developed stuff, this is a hole that would be nice to get an eagle on, but when you've got lower developed stuff, it's really important to play consistently to try and get that minimum score that we're looking for. So the minimum that we want to walk away from this hole with is a birdie, but we want to try and see if there is a better opportunity for us to get an eagle. So I will explore this just to see what my club can do, but I think I probably will do this shot with this account just so that I can see what club I'm using out here and how, what numbers I would need and what that shot looks like. But I'm going to at least look at it to see what we got here. So let's take a couple bags with us. And I'm not sure, let's go back and look. With where we're coming, if we're in this area right here, if you look at angles, if you're in this area right here and you're coming into the green, you've got very little to work with here, so you're going to have to start off on the green side and get it up to the cup. So you're probably, if this was long iron range, you'd probably want to bring a Saturn. That's got a little more backspin. But if you get up into this area, now you can run it up, and so you can start back here and you can run it towards the green. And so you may not need the backspin. However, if you're trying to run it towards the green, the worry that you have is these moguls that are out here. And you can see these little depressions that are out here, and so there's moguls. So if you're trying to run it up, you're going to encounter that mogul, and that's going to change your shot. Ideally, when you've got a mogul on a course, on these greens where you've got these moguls, you want to come in and you want to bounce over the mogul and try and take it out of play. And I think you should probably be in short iron range out here. Now, I have a really good short iron and a Kingfisher for low level stuff. It's super accurate, but it doesn't have any topspin. So unless I'm taking a shot where I'm engaging backspin, I may have a little bit of problems. So let's take several bags. Got a backbone, Kingfisher. Got a Saturn, Kingfisher. Got my Saturn and my Kingfisher in my extra mile bag. So I'm going to start off with the extra mile bag. I'm going to bring a Titan. We'll see what that does. And I've been saving my Titans. Trying to play good in the tournament so that I can get myself a little collection of Titans going. And I have not written down. I have them somewhere. Let's write down some numbers here. 88 accurate, so it's about 1.2 per ring. So Kingfisher. Kingfisher 1.2. Saturn is 1.9, I know that. Extra mile In this account, I think it's 2.4. 2.4. All right, let's get out there on it. My whole thing with my lower level account is I want to shoot the minimum score. So I don't want to, in these tournaments, if you want to end up with better tournament finishes, the goal is to quit taking a bunch of risky shots and shoot the minimum score. And once you've got the minimum score where you can shoot the minimum score with your eyes closed, and I haven't sat down and did the math on this one to see where the minimum score is. It should be minus 12. There's one of the par 4s here that we really have to get an eagle on. And so we're probably looking at minus 13 as the minimum score that we're looking for. And so you need to be able to shoot that minimum score with your eyes closed. If you shoot the minimum score, you come in with a minus, let's say it was minus 13, you shoot minus 13, minus 26, minus 26, you're going to end up with a top 15 finish in most tournaments. The last tournament we had, we were playing at the Milano, and the Milano holes, there's, I mean, like literally every hole's got a super, super awesome chance of picking one up. The deal about this shot out here is if you're playing, especially if you're playing in an upper bracket where you're playing in a Ricky Expert or a Ricky Masters bracket, you're playing up there, you know that there's so many people in your bracket that are going for that shot that the people at the top are the ones that have made this. But when you're playing in a lower level account, the key is consistency. I really think I would rather take that shot with my Saturn. I already picked the ball. Now the reason I'm bringing a Titan to this knife fight is because my second shot, it's 2.4 per ring, so it's just a little shy of a ring. Isn't it perfect? The reason I brought a Titan is not for this shot. Obviously I could make this shot with any ball there, but I want to see how deep I can get into my club on the other side, because that Titan may put me into my short iron range instead of my long iron range. Whereas if I brought a Marlin or a lower level ball, I may not get that extra distance on the shot coming in, and you're much better off taking the shot to the cup with a short iron than you are with a long iron. So my opponent's in long iron range, and they're in the biggest long iron in the game. Well, at least for lower level stuff. See how they get in. Get a little run out. Now with upper developed stuff being on the French like that, that's not a, so I'm in Saturn. Let's see where I'm at on my Saturn. I'm right at minimum club. So I need to do one of two things. I either need to hit that farther out in there so I'm not at minimum club, or I'm going to need to bring a katana and drop down a ball. So I can give myself a little bit of breathing room here, because there's not enough to backspin it to the cup. So I'm going to try and put that second bounce right in the hole. It's 1.9 per ring. That leaves me 4, so that's about a ring and a quarter. No, I hit it way great to the left. I moved my eyes up to see how many seconds I had left. So on that hole right there, I would definitely want to, if I was going to shoot that shot, I would bring my extra mile and a katana because of the red line issue. That'll give me a little bit more breathing room, and I can bring a Saturn. And I'm going to be in minimum club. Yeah, those shots right there with lower developed clubs where you're off the fringe can be very, very frustrating, because if you've got upper developed stuff, you can make those shots pretty consistently, but with lower level clubs, those shots can you can miss those shots, and they're very dangerous with lower developed stuff. Now, one of the things that I bring in my bag is a Firefly, and it helps me make those because it's got topspin on it, so it's kind of a poor man's rapier. I can funnel it up in there. This hole right here is going to be very interesting too, because normally I shoot from this spot right here with a sniper, but I don't have a sniper that's got backspin in it, so there's a lot of holes on here. If you've got upper developed stuff, one of the things you're going to have is backspin, and you don't want to end up rolling off the back side of this green. So I got my blue ring on the sand. It's about 2.4, a little less than 2 rings. Put a little bit of curl on it. Hitting it great to the left. Great to the left, great to the right. Just feeding it up there towards it. I've got low, I don't have low coin count, but with my lower level account, practicing on some of these par 3s is at least getting a look at it. And coins are an issue when you first start. Bankroll management. Once you get to a couple million coins, if you're playing a rookie and you're playing the lower level stuff, you can really start having fun, because then you're not really worried about coins. If you're trying to be a max trophy player, you're going to always be worried about coins until you get to about $1 billion. All right, that was hole number 2. So some changes I would make on that hole, if I'm going out to this area right here, I've got 2 options. I either need to hit it out farther, and the way that I could do that is I could have came over on this side and put on a little bit of overpower and tried to bring it out so that I'm further out here and I'm in my short iron range. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is that if you're going to do the bounce over and come over, and you're going to be in this area here where you're in your long iron range, is to, instead of bringing a Titan, is to bring a, if I can spell today, Titan, is to bring a Katana. And so the Katana at 2 power versus 3 power, that's going to pull your red line back, so you'll have more distance out here to start to maneuver with your Saturn, so that you can really try and go for the hole. And I think for consistency wise, so that I don't have to put on any overpower, is I'll probably bring a Katana. And so it's going to be a Katana Saturn hole. And if you brought the Katana, you might have enough room down here that you could bring the backbone and work it up in there, and you wouldn't need as much backspin. You could start back a little bit further. So if you're with lower developed stuff, this is going to be a lot more consistent shot than trying to hit out here. But if you hit this shot out here and you're on, man, that for a low level count, that's a game changer. But you do risk your birdie by doing this, and you can still pick up your eagle from over here. It's not like, you hit over here and you have no shot at eagle. You still have a shot. All right, that was hole number 2 of the Monster Marsh tournament in Monday's qualifying round of the rookie division. Thanks for watching.